Well, hey guys, here we are. This is actually going to be a pre-recorded video. Not because we weren't trying to go live, but apparently there is a technical issue with live video on the Facebook app right now. So we are just going to flex, readjust, and get this done. We're going to get it posted to all the places. We'll have it on Facebook. We'll get an update on Instagram. We've got this post goes to YouTube and to our blog on our website, kimmixon.com. So anyhow, let's get started with this month in housing. We are here on October 5th. It is the end of third quarter and the beginning of fourth quarter for 2023. We are going to go through our monthly market update, looking at how third quarter rounded out so far for 2023. Looking ahead into what fourth quarter may look like. Dustin Steele with North Point Bank, our local mortgage expert, is not with us today, so you've just got me, but I'm going to give you some quick mortgage updates that he sent over to me. And then if you join us on this post on our website, I will have some notes from Dustin, a little more comprehensive information from him about the meeting with the Fed and some other aspects like that. So I'll put some additional detail into the notes below the video for that. But for now, let's get started on our market numbers and how we ended up for third quarter of 2023 in Muscogee and Harris County. All right, total closed sales for January through the end of third quarter, so for the first 3 quarters of this year in Muscogee and Harris County, was 1,935 homes. Last year, for the entirety of the third quarter in 2022, closed sales were approximately 2,602. That's a big difference for us. We're definitely in the real estate world. We're feeling this difference this year. That is a decrease in overall volume of approximately 25.6%. So that's a big decrease from one year to the next. We don't like to feel that, but we are. And hey, that's part of real estate. Markets ebb and flow, and we roll with it, and we make things work, and we adjust as we need to through the process. So average days on the market is about 36 days. This time last year, we were around 28 days, so it is up from that. Average sales price for Muscogee and Harris counties for third quarter was about $255,500. For third quarter last year, it was $255,600. So average sales price has held pretty strong. That's good to know. List to sale price percent. So I'm going to switch this up a little bit because I have this information available to me through the Columbus Board of Realtors, which is our board that we work through for Muscogee and Harris County. I can look at list to sale price in 2 ways through that MLS data feed. One is, what was the original list price to sale price? So if we look at original list price, like when it hit the market, what it was listed for versus what it sold for, that's 91.9%. So what that means for us is we are seeing bigger negotiations and or we are seeing a lot of price reductions. And I can tell you from my experience as a listing expert that's been doing this for many years, in this market right now, we're seeing a lot of price reductions going on. We're trying to start off at some strong numbers, but the truth is we've got to be in reality world when we are looking at pricing right now. So list to sale price percent for Muscogee and Harris County third quarter from original list price to what it actually sold for was 91.9%. Now, after the price reductions, like where was it listed? What was the final list to sale price? So what was it listed for at the time it went under contract and closed? That's at about 98.8%. So what that tells us is if you can find that magic number for your home, you will be able to get pretty close to what your sales price is going to be based on your list price. So this time last year for third quarter, original list price to sale price was 92.7%. And the reduced sales price, what it was listed for at the time it actually closed, the average was about 99.2%. So you can see when you get right on your price, you have a much better chance of negotiating a sales price at or very close to your list price when the pricing is right. So let's look at active and pending sales right now for Muscogee and Harris County. Currently, there are about 361 active listings and about 286 pending sales. This time last year, there were about 405 active listings and 347 pending sales. So you can see, we've been talking about it all year, sales volume is definitely down. And that's just the reality that we're living in right now. It doesn't mean market's crashing, sky is falling. None of that is happening. We've just got limited inventory. We've got some higher than what we would normally think, based on the past few years, higher interest rates comparatively, not high interest rates, but higher than what we had gotten used to. And all of that is kind of creating the perfect storm to slow down the market a little bit. All right, Russell and Lee County, let's look at how third quarter rounded out. Closed sales for third quarter, 969 closed sales. This time last year for third quarter, it would have been 1,340 closed sales. Again, a big difference. We are down in total volume by about 27.7% between Russell and Lee County based on the East Alabama Board of Realtors. Average days on the market were about 33 days currently for third quarter. And average days on the market for third quarter last year was about 24 days. Now, what I will tell you for all 4 of the counties that I track, average days on market is going up significantly right now. Earlier this year, it was still holding pretty tight. Now we're seeing much longer times on the market than we have in the past. And that's due in part to the seller side really trying to push pricing, and buyers are pushing back on that right now. So again, I'm going to say if you'll get your price right and start off at a realistic sales price for current market conditions, you do have a much better chance of having lower market days in the market right now. All right, average sales price for Russell and Lee County third quarter of 2023 was $269,000, and third quarter last year it was about $250,000. So a little bit higher this year. Not a huge difference, but we're not seeing overall home values fall in any of the counties. List to sale price percent. Now, what I don't have from the East Alabama Board is what that original list price was. It doesn't track the data that same way. So what I can tell you is what did the home sell for list to sale price percent based on what it was listed for when it went under contract, not necessarily what it originally listed for. And so currently in Russell and Lee County for third quarter, that's about 99.3%. And this time last year in third quarter, it was about 100%. People were getting, much less on the negotiation side. So that gives you the overall snapshot of what the market has done. Let's look at active and pending sales in Russell and Lee County. Right now, there's about 197 active listings and about 174 pending sales. In 2022, this time last year, we had about 226 active listings and about 218 pending sales. So the trend is this. It's an interesting market, and it is a different market from what it was in 2020, 2021, 2022. 2023 has presented challenges based on inventory and interest rates. So just remember that. The challenges that we're facing in the market right now are temporary because Inventory will eventually begin to rise at some point, and interest rates will come down at some point. So when that starts to happen, we will start to get a change in market circumstances. But if you are buying and selling right now, you're feeling some of the challenges of the market with interest rates on the buyer side, and low inventory. And then on the seller side, look, I'm going to tell you, sellers, I'm going to talk real with you here. Buyers are a lot pickier right now. It is not 2021 anymore. And, if you don't have price and condition on point, it's really impacting number of days on the market and overall negotiations. Buyers are not just buying whatever they can because they can. They're a lot pickier because it's also costing them a lot more. Home values are still up, which is great. So they're paying, what would be considered premium pricing in overall market. And their closing expenses are up quite a bit from what they would have been a couple of years ago, due in part to the interest rate situation. So let's talk about rates for just a minute. Again, Dustin Steele was not able to join us today, so I'm going to give you some quick information about interest rates, and then I'm going to drop some details into some comments below. If you'll go give us a few hours today, we'll get this posted to our website, kimmixon.com. You can go to the blog section and watch this video again, but also read some notes below with regard to interest rates and Fed meeting and all of that. So let's talk interest rates real quick, and then I'll let you guys get back to your day. Current interest rates with a 1% buy down, because you're pretty much, par rate is probably around 8%. So there's pretty much not a rate quoted right now that does not include a buy down. So conventional is about 7.625%. This time last month, when we did our market update last month, conventional was about 6.99. So unfortunately, we're continuing to see rates go up. FHA and VA right now around 7%. This time last month when we did the video, it was about 6.5%. So not great news on the rate front. The Fed, they're in debate. If you watched any of that or listened to any of that, they're in debate about whether or not to continue increasing rates. And unfortunately, when there is uncertainty with the Fed, that often leads to higher rates. So we are anticipating you could possibly see rates go up a little bit more before they come down. But on the brighter side, we've also got a lot of hope and a lot of indicators that in 2024, we will start to see some relaxing of rates at some point. So, Dustin, his advice right now is if you are under contract and moving forward in that process, his advice is lock in. Don't play the rate wait game because it's not working well. If you look at where rates were a month ago when we did our market update versus where they are now, I guess it depends on what kind of risk taker you are and how risk adverse you might be. But remember, even with the higher rates, you are not locked in for a lifetime at a higher rate. If you lock in now and you don't love your rate, when rates relax, you're going to be in a great position to refinance. So don't get overwhelmed or overthink whether or not you should buy solely based on interest rates. There's so many more things to think about with that. And this is what I will leave you with. If you are fretting about whether or not to buy a home based on interest rates, but you are renting right now, then what I'm going to tell you is even if you have to pay on conventional 7.625% on a mortgage, that's only 7.625. On a rent, you are paying 100% interest. So it doesn't really make sense to make a decision on whether or not to purchase a home solely on the current interest rate environment. So just keep that in mind. Think about that. We are wrapping up. Well, we have wrapped up third quarter. We are about to be wrapping up 2023. It seems crazy that we're this far into the year, but we are, and it has been a very interesting year in real estate for sure. So stay tuned. We're going to keep getting information out to you. If you have any direct questions or you want to talk more about whether or not right now is a good time for you personally to buy or sell based on your specific situation, then give me a call, 706-332-6349. Shoot me an email, kim@kimmixon.com. We can talk through things. I can get you some information. I'm not in the business of telling everybody that it's the right time to buy and sell. That is an individual circumstance, an individual situation, but I'm certainly in the business of helping people figure out if now is the right time for them. So let my team and I help you guys work through that. If you are thinking about buying or selling in 2024, let's go ahead and start that process. Give us a call. Let us start working with you on what that game plan is going to look like. So until next month, this is it for this month in housing, October 5th. We took a look at what third quarter ended up for 2023, and we will be looking into how fourth quarter is going to round out next month at our October market update. So till then, you guys have a great month and stay tuned. There's always great information coming out from the team. See ya.